You wanna know how nervous and excited I am for what's about to go down? Look at that. Look at that. Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. And as you saw in that intro, I am very excited and very nervous. Welcome to a very special Nightmare on Elm Street prop unboxing. This is like a prop, same make and model thing per se. This isn't like a screen use prop, but it is very cool what is inside this box that you see right here from a very dear friend by the name of Nathan Paul, who is also a fellow prop builder and prop collector. I've been after this thing for 14 years. I have been building gloves since 2000, so a very, very long time. When I was around 12 or 13 years old, and when this surfaced, when the same make and model name surfaced of this piece, it was a big deal for the glove building community. And for me in particular, because I'd always been fascinated by this piece, seeing it on film and seeing it on a certain very famous prop. So I have actually owned a variant of this. I wouldn't call it the bootleg version, but it was essentially a variant. But this right here is the real McCoy, and it is in pristine, beautiful condition. This thing was made in either the 60s, the 70s, or the 80s. So it's older than me, and trust me, that's old. So what I'm gonna do is prop the camera upwards and downwards here on the table, unbox it, show you guys some nice up close shots, and then gonna come back and just give a bit of history and a bit of trivia as well in regards to the first and the second Nightmare on Elm Street. And obviously I have this beautiful part 2 glove replica that you see here from the wonderful Christian Carlson of Glove Love Sweden here, just as a bit of reference. I would have my part 1 glove here from the amazing George Lang, but he's currently on my life-size Fred at the moment, and it's like the biggest deal ever to try and take it off, and then you got to try and repose the glove when it gets back on the mannequin hand and all that, and it's just an absolute clusterfuck. And yeah, this is like seriously huge to me, guys. Like, this thing will stay in mint condition. I want to get a shadow box for it with a really sweet looking display, an Elm Street themed display. This thing has been sitting in my office, in my study here all day, and I've just been waiting for the right time to do this unboxing. And again, I just wanted to leave it a surprise. I think a lot of you, especially you horror fans who are subscribed to me, are gonna get a Jonesin out of this. And there have been a lot of videos of people showcasing theirs. And look, a lot of people have collected a lot, and that's really cool. But to me, I just need one. That is all I need. Anyway, I'm blabbering on. Let's get to unboxing this thing. All right, guys, here we go. And yes, I am wearing some white cotton gloves because this is in pristine condition and I don't want to get my grubby, smudgy hands all over the piece. So I've already gone ahead and opened the side. So let's pull this side down. Okay, we've got some brown wrapping paper right here with a very lovely note from the wonderful Nathan Paul, who I'm also going to talk and touch on about in the video at the end. Chris, enjoy. Nathan. So let's pull this piece off here. Hopefully the tracking is working. I know it's tracking my hand at the moment, but if you put something in front there, it should work. Yeah, that's fine. Alrighty. Hope the suspense is killing you as much as it's killing me. So I might just move that forward. Okay, you see it already. And of course I can't open the Ziploc bag. I've waited 14 years for this. Oh my god. Alright, I gotta take the Ziploc bag off. I gotta take the glove off. Alright. Alright, guys. Here we go. I present to you the Case XX P210 tomato knife. This is the same make and model knife that was used on the Nightmare on Elm Street Part 1 and Part 2 Hero Glove in mint beautiful condition. How awesome is that? Look at that beautiful bevel. Now it has the insignia on the blade here. It does vary a little bit in instances on certain iterations of the knife, but for the most part, the blade shape does stay the same. But there are times where, you know, it has 5 stars on either side of the Case XX logo, but then other times it doesn't. So if we have a look at the screen used glove on the prop store and we zoom right in on the index finger blade, look right there, Case XX P210. Now, I don't know if the camera is going to pick it up. Hopefully it does. I'm really just relying on the viewfinder that's far, far away at the moment. But you can see a nice little serration on the top. So it is a tomato knife. So that's how you'd use it, just like that, you know. Cut your tomatoes like that, very nice, with your knife and fork, very nice. But what Lou Carlucci, Jim Doyle, and Charlie Blodnelli did when they built the original Hero glove back in 1984 was they took the handle off, turned it upside down, and then ground out the tang here until it rested on the Type M copper pipe, and then brazed it on like that. And there you go. This thing is absolutely immaculate, and I'm so honored and thrilled to have this in my collection. This is so cool, guys. Like, you have no idea how much I'm freaking out right now. Now, it is a pretty flexible blade. I'm not going to flex it too much. I don't want to risk anything happening to this thing. And it's crazy to think that these were made in the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, and just the pristine condition that this is in. This is just absolutely incredible. And all I need is one. That's all I want. I just want one to have in the collection. And it's just really cool to have this, just because this is the real deal. This is the same make and model. This is the stuff I live for, guys. Guys, I am just chuffed right now. Again, I can't believe how much in good condition this is. Now, let's go over a little bit of trivia from the opening build sequence of A Nightmare on Elm Street, because you see a very different style of knife that is dumped out on the workbench by Mr. Fred Krueger, aka Charlie Blodnelli's hands, who had a hand, pun intended, in building the original Hero glove. Now, I believe that is a variant of another Case XX knife. I could be wrong. It could be an Echo knife. At one point, Jim Doyle, who designed the glove and also helped build the glove with Lou Carlucci and Charlie Blodnelli, said that they were going for an Echo steak knife. Little did he know that it was actually the Case XX P210 tomato knife. But when it comes to that shot of Freddy blowtorching the knife onto the copper finger stall, you can actually see that they haven't even gone ahead and ground down the tang, and they're just hitting it with a blowtorch. Like, they filmed that sequence at the end of production, so they were just kit bashing pieces together. They just probably got a spare finger piece and said, Charlie, can you just pretend to blowtorch that thing? But as most of us know, the blades were actually brazed onto the fingers, and you cannot attach stainless steel to copper pipe with just a regular propane blowtorch. So again, they kind of just cheated it because they just thought most people aren't even going to notice, but they didn't take us glove nerds into consideration, now did they? So if we take Christian Carlson's glove, even though the blades are very dull on the part 2, and just give you a nice little piece of reference right there. Absolutely beautiful. And Christian even does his beveling on the knives, and the beveling is spot on. Like, so spot on. It's brilliant. This video has a lot of jump cuts because I just keep looking at it. It's just crazy. There's one part of me that wants to complete the collection and get all 4 and then build a glove, or have someone build a glove and braze them on. But at the same time, I just think it just looks beautiful as is. So the idea is I want to put this in some sort of a shadow box with the 2 photos that you see as a little sneak peek on the thumbnail. You know, the open palm clack, and then them trying to braze, or should I say just blowtorch, the blade onto the actual fingertip from the build sequence. But guys, this is just absolutely incredible. Now, a massive thank you once again to Nathan Paul for giving me the opportunity to buy this thing. These things are not cheap. I actually had to call Australian Customs to make sure it was okay to get this thing into the country. They were very sweet, very nice. I think when it comes to customs, as long as you're honest, you're like, this is what I want to have brought into the country. What can we do about it? And they go, look, what is it? What's the description? And I go, look, it's a manufactured knife from the 60s, 70s, or 80s. It's vintage. And they're like, is it a piece of cutlery? I'm like, yeah, it's just like something you'd have in your drawer when you have a nice piece of steak. And they're like, okay, that's fine, as long as you label it correctly with a pretty good description and like the model number. And Nathan FedExed it, so it got here in a couple of days, which was really damn cool. So just for transparency, including shipping in Australian dollars, this thing was $300. So the price definitely does vary. There was one point before we found out about the same make and model, like the model number Case XX P210, that these went for like a dime a dozen on eBay. Now you're looking at, like, in USD, 150 USD. So it's crazy. But a little bit of info about Nathan Paul. He is a prop builder, a prop collector connoisseur, and this is also a really nerdy piece. Look, this video in general is just severely nerdy, just freaking out over a bloody tomato knife / steak knife. But how cool is that? So if you look at the original Screen Used Part 1 sweater, you can see on the tag it was made by a company in Los Angeles called Albion Knit. Well, when Nathan was selling this, he also showcased a very familiar looking sweater. If you see here, he managed to track down an Albion knit sweater that is done in the same style as the Part 1 sweater, minus the green stripes obviously, but the same cut and the same style. Obviously we have the addition of some little navy blue stripes, but this thing is incredible. This is the closest you can probably get to the original Part 1 sweater. So Nathan knows his stuff, and once again, he just gave me this opportunity to have this mint condition Case XX P210 tomato knife. Once again, that was the same make and model knife used to create the original hero glove from A Nightmare on Elm Street 1 and A Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for just letting me geek the fuck out. This is so cool. I'm going to get to work now designing a neat little shadow box display for this thing. Again, I don't want to take the handle off. I don't want to add it to a fingertip or anything. I just want to keep it as is because it is a very cool and badass piece of horror and movie history. Love you guts, and I'll catch you in the next one.